I'm about to make the biggest decision of my career as it's time for Craig to transfer to a new school. But how did the one-star receiver even get to this point? Craig Mason came into college as the most average wide receiver ever, and nobody expected him to amount to anything as a freshman, but he used that to fuel one of the greatest runs we've ever seen, shown off at every practice. And as the year went on, he flew up the depth chart. His 79 speed barely held him back because by mid-season, he was the team's #1 wide receiver, but New Mexico State wasn't getting much better because Deuce Hogan kept turning over the football, so it was clear if Craig wanted to keep on improving, he'd have to find a new home. Now he's up to a 73 overall, but that's still not great. But with his 1,223 yards and 6 touchdowns in 6 games, he has a load of schools willing to take a shot on him. This is where things get difficult though, because it has to be a perfect fit. And choosing a new school is my favorite part about Road to Glory by far. Obviously, we're not returning to New Mexico State, but we can transfer to about any Power 4 conference, and USC intrigues me because of their air raid offense. Since Zach Branch is there though, it'd be almost impossible to ever be the #1 wide receiver, and it would probably be easy to get playing time at Northwestern, Rutgers, or Michigan State, but I want a team that could contend for a championship. That made me go over to the ACC. It felt like a Power 4 conference we could crack into a little bit sooner, but there wasn't any interest in that conference from schools I'd want to go to. Big 12 is a little bit different. There are some that I would definitely be open to attending. It's just not the SEC though. I said I wanted to go to the SEC last season. I wanted to see how a one-star fared in that conference. And if you recall last year, Craig had 180 yards and almost helped us take down an SEC team in overtime. So Texas A&M is more interested than you might think. They're an 88 overall team. It says we're projected to be a walk-on, but we're taking our chance. Craig didn't want to go too far away from New Mexico, and I think he can see the field here. But in order to get there, we're going to have to go through quite a few position battles. I really think it's impressive though that we're already on a top 25 team as a sophomore. And in order to take Micah T's spot, all we have to do is win 2 of these 3 battles. Starting off with wide receiver route tree, this should not be that challenging. We were able to do this with no issues back at New Mexico State. Now we're another Aggie. And really all it takes is consistency. 3 catches will win. They gave Craig Mason a couple of easy ones. Now we're going for the big shot right here, but he called for it at the perfect time. And anything past this, since we've already won the battle, is just padding up the stats. One thing I've already noticed comparing this to his freshman season is route running is a lot smoother ever since we got that boost that we had at the end of last year up to like an 89. But it's the only category where Mason really shines as a player. With that in mind, this position battle is actually not going well, mainly because we've had a couple of drops, but if we're able to get that multiplier going, we should be fine. Holding on to that football right there was enough, though I'm worried about facing SEC cornerbacks. But at least for now, we're fine. I want to win all 3 position battles though. Getting backfield survival right here would mean we get a lot more coach trust, and with a slow speed player like him, 79 speed, I'm not sure we can actually get this to go our way. We're already getting chased down. I'm trying to outrun the defender. He gets stuck, but I have a feeling another defender is coming very, very shortly. So we're going to have to juke him out again. He's getting hit around, and all we have to do is cross over this last 500. We'll be fine. That is all that we needed. Craig Mason has already shown off at Texas A&M practices. And with that, like I was saying, comes a lot more coach trust. We're also passing up Micah T's. But what I didn't realize is our coach trust from New Mexico State carries over to Texas A&M, even though it's a new school. So we're already passing up pretty much every receiver that we would have been behind. And that means throughout the year, we're going to have position battles to get up to wide receiver 2, and by then, probably wide receiver 1 as well. Another reason Craig came here doesn't necessarily deal with being able to pass up these players on the depth chart either. He wanted to play with Connor Wigman. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the country. And any of the guys rated above him, we had a much lower chance in playing for that team, or at least them making it all the way to the playoffs. Now, like always, I'll be playing through this entire season in this video, and I'm not sure exactly what we're going to target to upgrade. I want to do speed, but it's so much more expensive than everything else. As for practice this year, with our coach trust already so high, these really aren't going to mean that much. I mean, I'm still going to try to do good in them, though we are getting stuck on some of these. Come on, we're going to go ahead, go for the touchdown. But I'm not sure it's going to be possible to get gold on this drill because I did mess up and get hit by the balls on one of them. I didn't right there. So there we go. It's a good start playing for this Aggie team. Looking ahead at our schedule as well, I think we might actually be able to make the playoffs with this team, assuming we get on the field and perform well. We got a pretty good draw inside the SEC. And I'm still going to focus on academics a little bit to make sure we pass our test, but mainly it's going to be be about training and then healing our injuries. I want to stack skill points, and I'm curious to see if we even get on the field versus UTSA, but my guess is probably not, that we're going to have to wait to move up the depth chart, even though we have already earned position battles all the way up to wide receiver 2. It kind of makes sense though. I have to establish myself with a new group. I don't like how close this was, and maybe playing with Connor Wigman isn't going to be as good as I thought. I might need to try and rush onto the field to save this team as a 74 overall. And if there's one thing that should be known about Craig, he has not lost a single position battle in the entirety of his career, so he's not going to do that now that he's at Texas A&M. It's definitely not going as smooth sailing as it was at New Mexico State though, I will say that, which makes me worried for when we actually play in the SEC. Now, I hated doing backfield survival on the last position battle. We're stuck with it again. We can handle ourselves a little bit better right here though. We just need to get that boost that lineman is all over, and it's outrunning us. Come on. Come on. We're up to it. And now we're stuck. We're stuck. This is it. I have failed a position battle. That might be the first position battle, just like one drill, that Craig's ever lost in his career. It's shocking everybody. But it's all good. It was expected, and this drill is never a difficult one. We've pretty much just guaranteed that we will be moving up. Though I will say, running routes at least versus man-to-man coverage is always very difficult. I'm pretty sure these route running stats have done almost nothing for us, but I guess we're gonna have to test it out. I'm expecting us to see the field versus Utah State. Once again, though, I was met with the harsh reality that our coach just does not trust me to get out onto the field right now. And I don't understand why. I destroyed his team last season. Craig is not going to give up yet though. He got his first opportunity last year because of an injury, and then he just took off from there. He's still better than these players. So he's probably not going to get to play at Notre Dame either, but eventually he'll get to show off his sneaky athleticism. This kid's got a lot of grit. I'm going to try to work hard with him in practice to improve his route running a little bit right there. But I will say, whenever they press in one direction, it's kind of hard to get separation. I think man-to-man in the SEC is going to be a big issue, but it's okay. We'll look out for zone coverage, and we're not catching this ball. A bronze medal is not that impressive, but you know what? We're just waiting our turn at the moment, and I'm not even going to spend any points to heal our health. We might currently have 73 speed, but I'm not expecting to play against Notre Dame, and I guess I just have to hope that from the bench we end up doing well. Averaging 2.3 water bottle fills a quarter, I was able to help my team take down the Irish by 13, and it really bugs me I haven't even gotten to play one snap yet. Now you might wonder, what did I expect playing for an SEC school? And that's kind of a valid point, but this is the first time anybody from my school is even texting me. She must have also transferred to Texas A&M because I have the exact same academic advisor. Now we have to run this drill that we went last week in the position battle. And let me tell you, after having 2 balls knocked out from me, I'm going for a deep pass, just hoping for the best. I might have lost my touch. At the moment, we have 0 points. But knowing how this works, we're just going to keep going to the 50 zone, stacking them up, and dropping that ball right there just ruined the multiplier. I'm actually about to fail this position battle. I'm getting clamped up. This is the last rep right here. I think we have to go over to the sideline and hope that we just created enough separation, which it was. We made the catch, and that's good because now it's backfield survival. I could very easily fail this drill. It's one of the more challenging ones, though we're getting off to a fantastic start right here. I'm getting stuck. Okay, come on, get stuck yourself. This is bad. This is bad. I guess I can't mess up this final drill. This is what happens in the position battles whenever I end up going to a faster and tougher school. Texas A&M is actually challenging me here as well. They have back-to-back really deep routes I have to run. But one catch got me almost 2,000 points. All I need is another 200, so we're going to get that. I've also figured out I don't even have to go in the zones. I could just catch the ball here, and you literally get like 2,000 point bonuses. I ended up getting gold, not even running my routes. We have won another battle though. Wide receiver 3. It's a big deal. And by the time we get up to wide receiver 2, we can probably challenge Noah Thomas for wide receiver 1. I spent 3 energy on academics though, not realizing we only had 3 this week, so I can't make sure our health fully heals. And that's a little scary since we're probably about to get some of our first minutes versus San Jose State. It should also be noted, even if it doesn't look like it in this clip right here, I have seen rain in some of them. But it does seem to be some pretty light sprinkles. It's not coming down too hard, and I could have been open if we didn't throw it immediately. That was the first snap that I got to play. But outside of that, I am only getting on the field in this formation, and I'm calling for the ball right here. No, I fumbled it away? That's going to make it even harder to impress head coach Mike Elko. And there's 2 things I can't believe. 1, this is only my 3rd snap of the game, and 2, that we're in a tie game. I don't know what's going on when I'm not out there, but getting that 3rd down led to my team getting a touchdown, and now I'm making another catch. In the end, we're going to come out on top again, but I clearly need to be a wide receiver too. Plus, it's not like we're running the ball that much either, because I spent so much energy on studying for my test as as well. I crushed it. I should be preparing for midterms. My GPA's going up. And that re-unlocks my fan favorite platinum badge that increases my composure gains at home. Sometimes it pays off to be an academic weapon, though we need to continue to train a little bit and also keep on improving our leadership, because we have now hit the point where SEC play is about to start, and we are facing off against none other than number 6 Missouri on the road, but they're only an 84 overall. There has been a little bit of a playbook change going into this one against the Tigers as well, so I'm very hopeful. That means I'm going to be on the field a little bit more in this game. Now we're going to see if I can run a route versus this zone coverage. I am actually wide open right here. We make a defender miss, but of course we're not going to play that much still. All I can ask for right now is setting my team up for success. That is all that I really want to be able to do, is contribute, and I think I've done a good job so far. I mean, we're ending the first quarter with a lead, and the Tigers have thrown for 0 passing yards. They are just as fraudulent as they are in real life. I tried to make a block, and I'm definitely getting some more chances. 3rd and 6 though. It is time to clutch up. I had to make sure that that hitch route got open right there. I also did have a really good block, and even if it hasn't shown up that much on the stat sheet yet, you can't say I haven't contributed to this team. I'm going for the catch. Considering we already had a 14-point lead, I think I should be able to do stuff like that. We also got it back here again, and that was after a safety, so it is 16-0. I just got pressed into what could have been a catch, and we'll see if I can get open with this slant. It is zone coverage, so I'm just gonna cut, and it's short. Either way, I think I can say this first half was better than previous ones, but what would make this game even better is if I could get my first touchdown catch at Texas A&M right here, and I can't even act like I ran a good route. It might not have happened, and I didn't play much in the last 2 quarters, but I'll take Connor putting up stats like this in a win with my 50 receiving yards contributing. I mean, we just got a road win versus a top 10 team. I now have another position battle, and if you really remember New Mexico State from last season, it took us a couple of games to start building up some good reps with our starting quarterback. The stats might start slow, but they're going to improve from here, and even if we are holding on to some of these catches, I think if anything, the catching stat is the next one I want to improve. This is literally the first time since coming to Texas A&M I've been able to put up gold on this drill, and after easily winning that position battle, we have the one that is always super challenging. Are we going to be able to get the medal I'm hoping for? We have to wait for him to get hit, though it completely missed him. And that leaves us with wide receiver zone attack. It's pretty much the same thing we did for the first one, but I am the only guy that's out there. I don't even consider these as battles anymore. I'm going to be wide receiver too, but it is a good test to see how you can break apart a defense. I have found a lot of interesting things, especially versus cover 3. We can thread that. And then whenever we get like a cover 2, cover 4 look, split the safeties. I'm hoping we have enough time one day to use this in a real game for once, but then once they give that man-to-man coverage, that's when the struggles could come. Either way, all of that is over with. We have won the battle. We are up to wide receiver 2 at Texas A&M. And even Noah Thomas knows that in the coming weeks, we're going to be wide receiver 1. This is the dream scenario for coming to Texas A&M though. We have moved up to number 7 in the polls. We're about to play number 5 LSU. And I couldn't think of a more prove-it game than on the road at Death Valley. With 5 coach points available though, before we go into this, I think I'm going to upgrade our catching. And I'm considering getting our first ability, Cutter, once we save up a couple more. This game right here pretty much determines how far we can really take this Texas A&M team. And you best believe that Craig Mason is nervous. I'm not going to be calling for the ball unless I am wide open. As wide receiver 2, we're going to be on the field a lot more, which is a great thing, but it puts pressure on us. And that was a very risky call for the ball. Now they're going to drop back 2 guys. I'm going to be able to route them up again. But how much longer can this really continue for? We're about to find out here on 1st and goal. I'm a call for the ball. I could get a touchdown here. And Craig Mason has found the end zone against number 5 LSU. This is weird. Just a season ago, we were the worst receiver in the country. Now we're doing well. And it's not like we're a high overall either. We are literally a 74. Those possession catches like that right there, though, the one for the touchdown, the one for the first, are the exact thing that are going to win this team games, those two. It sets us up for these second downs and shorts. I'm trying to block on this play, though it didn't matter. And here we go. It's 3rd and 2, man-to-man coverage. Somebody else got it. I don't know how we're still on the field, though. I'm glad that we are. And I'm almost positive in Road to Glory. The computer takes you out to go for it on 4th down, but I don't care. We're getting a touchdown. This might just be the Aggies season. At the moment, we have a 14-point lead. That's a good one. And here we go. Another passing play. They missed me, though. I'm not mad at Connor Wigman for it. I wasn't calling for the ball. I did right here. And that makes it 3rd and 10, where we need to probably route this guy up. He went somewhere else, and I think we've moved the chains. Sometimes it's hard to tell what all goes on out there, but we got a really good release. And here we go. Before the 2-minute warning, I'm calling for for it immediately. Can we get another touchdown? I think the refs are challenging whether or not we got in, but they're not giving it to us. Either way though, we set our team up to go up 21-0, and from here on out, we just have to preserve our lead. That is definitely weird to say with this much time left. Connor Wigman must have field general because I can tell that this is cover 2, and that is very helpful as a wide receiver to know exactly what coverage they're in. I got taken out for a play though, so now it is 3rd down, and we should have gotten to that. I'm really not a big fan of us going for it in this situation, though we had a play designed for it. And another touchdown means going into this second half, this one is already done. Moving forward though, I think I'm going to take it from 6-minute quarters to 5, just because now that we're out there for most of the snaps, the game goes by a lot slower. I think we'll get some more realistic stats that way as well. I have to go for my second touchdown of the day now that we're in the red zone, but I'm not going to get the opportunity. It really stinks getting pulled out in those situations. There is no way that we just dusted them deep. Whoa, Craig Mason is still up. Come on, Craig Mason. Outrun this kid. Outrun him. No! That was the best play he's had in his career. And Connor Wigman's even getting a highlight out of it. Perfect. I'm not able to watch it unless we see it through this right here. I've got to see that catch and then the broken tackle again. LSU fans are getting beat up by a 1-star. And all of this confidence and playing at this level really started when we faced Texas A&M last season. That was the last catch I'd make in this game, but it doesn't matter. I made the difference. And with another huge win, this one being a rivalry, we should be up to a top 5 team. Connor Wigman's going to win player of the game, but I got to look at my stats as well, because Mr. Craig Mason went for 16 receptions, 219 yards, and a touchdown. I think it's safe to say that spending points upgrading our catching was really worth it. We have 89 catch in traffic. That's what made that play. And we might not have won player of the game, but we did win SEC Offensive Player of the Week. After this Arkansas game as well, we should be able to battle for the #1 spot on our team. I can't guarantee that we're going to win the rest of the games on this schedule, especially at Texas. But at the moment, it looks like we're almost locked into making the playoffs. I mean, we all know that's not true. A lot can change, but it feels good to be tied for first place in the SEC. With this leadership upgrade as well, we should be getting our 3rd skill point, and it's not going to help our overall in the slightest, but I am going to go for improved cut moves right here, because my hope is against Arkansas, we'll see that that makes my route running a lot crisper. It's really hard to fathom how incredibly well this transfer move has gone, though are we playing this on a neutral site? I apologize for not being too familiar with Texas A&M and Arkansas whenever they play football. We're not catching this, but I'm curious to see if with our release and with the route running, we can get clean looks. That is what I wanted to do in this game, but after not getting targeted on 3rd and 10, I am taking some offense to it, because I want to help this team put up some good numbers too. We just have to run for the first down on this one now, and eventually I am going to get a break. It's never long, but I will say I haven't really noticed a difference using the cut button, and I don't know how they're going to expect me to pick up this 3rd and 19, but we'll see if I can even put us in field goal range. We missed the kick, so we're down by 7 to Arkansas. That's what I'm afraid of. We're never guaranteed to get any wins, and that ball definitely popped out, but they're saying it wasn't a catch, which is weird. I'm just gonna have to make up for it on 3rd and 12. It would be super nice if the game just ran the routes for me automatically. That was a solid one. But anyway, I feel like I don't have that much control, and if you want to stop or anything, it takes a second to do that. I was about to call for that though. I want aggressive catch situations. I'm not there for 3rd down, and I'm starting to think that putting it on 5-minute quarters was a terrible idea. This entire first half's gone by fast. The LSU game might have been a fluke, though I think our stats are going to look more realistic, and I just can't believe we're struggling with the Razorbacks. Give me this. We have got to crack our way into the end zone right here. I'm open. I found the space. And we threw it too low right to him. Please tell me that is on Connor Wigman and not me. I feel like it is. But now that they've ended the first half with another touchdown, it really sets the tone of the type of position we're in. We have 7 seconds to somehow get into the end zone right here. I know that I did not beat this kid deep, and this is a nightmare at the moment. We should not be losing. We still have plenty of time to move it down the field and such. I did not call for that, but I was able to get in front of the ball, so they were able to hit us, and then they threw a flag. That clearly made a big difference, but I am nervous for this 3rd and inches. I motioned myself over to help us try and pick it up. And whatever we do, Connor Wigman can't throw an interception on this part of the field. Here on 2nd and 3, I'm really not getting that open, though I was able to make an amazing block, and I don't like getting taken off right now. I never know what the computer is going to do without me out there. I am really not open in this situation. But my teammate apparently caught a pass, and they're relying on me to block right here. Either way, we get in. We're not out of this. And after getting a defensive stop, we have the ball back, but this is not a good spot to be in. We either went for the 2-point conversion or missed the extra point, which means we are trailing by 8 points. That is far from ideal. It certainly doesn't help. Our teammates are literally running in front of the ball. I'm having to call for it on this 3rd and 10 and fighting for it. But my biggest fear is here down inside the red zone. You never know what Connor's going to throw. I have motioned over to get open with this slant. That was a good decision. But after every good decision, I get taken off the field. We ended up getting the touchdown though, so it comes down to this 2-point conversion. I'm open with the zig right here, and that's a big moment, but we need a stop. That is exactly what has happened though. The comeback is still very, very much alive, and Craig Mason almost just ruined it right there. I should not have called for that ball. They are clamping up, but somebody else got open. And because of that, we're basically in field goal range. All we have to do is run out some more clock, and we should be fine. But number 3 keeps on running in front of my routes. I don't know if he's jealous I took his spot or something, and it's driving me insane. We now have to pick up this 3rd and 1 on the ground. I put an extra body into the box. I made the block right there. And why are we the ones calling timeouts? I can't do this with EA right now. I wanted to settle for a field goal against them. But after this play, I am sure that Arkansas is going to start calling timeouts of their own. And wait, I'm so dumb. I just realized it was Arkansas that was taking the timeouts, not Texas A&M. So I was going to apologize to EA, but we're in overtime. I don't know how we missed a field goal from that spot, but I am never settling for a field goal in Road to Glory again. We can get a touchdown to get the win, but it's ridiculous. I got us in the perfect spot possible, and we still messed it up. Here we go, though. This whole ending has been pure chaos. I'm in there to block. Come on, take it in. There we go. That is how you come back in a rivalry. That is how you close out a game. And even if our stats aren't as good, this is a much more realistic one for the shorter catches we're getting. We're clearly wide receiver 1, so it's a good thing we're getting a challenge for it. And there is no way that Bryce Anderson has said, hey, Craig, I'm trying to get my music career up and running. I'm recording a mixtape in my room this Tuesday, and I need some feature artist. I'm a feature on the mixtape. There's no way it's not a disaster, but it says going viral. The mixtape blows up on social media, and you gain 2,000 followers. I don't know if that's blowing up. I also got all B's on my exam, but that's not exactly great. I think that gets us at a 3.0 GPA. I just can't check until we go to position battles. One thing I have been a little bit disappointed in, though, is it said the NIL opportunities at Texas A&M were high, so I was expecting to have at least 1 or 2 so far. And maybe becoming wide receiver 1 is what it takes to get those chances. I think by now we know I'm going to dominate this drill. I've also come up with a little bit of a trick that gets you a speed boost every so often. If it's not man-to-man coverage and you immediately hit L2, sometimes you'll get it, sometimes you won't. I need a good example, but it was hard to get one. We have not done this rack attack position battle yet this season though. This is actually one of the better ones. You get to try and make one person miss in open space. But Craig clearly let his team down right there. I'm going to have to do a better job right here. The block actually held up and we can celebrate in. I'm also going to go for a hurdle one of these times, mainly just out of pure boredom. It's going to work right there though. Craig Mason pulls it off. It's weird knowing that even on Heisman, no matter what you do, you're pretty much always winning the position battle. And since we've already gotten plenty of coach trust, we don't need a good score here. I'm telling you though, you could literally just do this to win the battle. And that's crazy to me because we still have 5 reps left. In fact, if you want the easiest gold ever, you can get a gold medal literally just running straight and immediately calling for the ball. So if you're playing your wide receiver road to glory, you can keep that noted if you want to cheese the system. For us though, practice will no longer mean anything in this. We should be able to simulate the rest of them. And our GPA is a 3.8. That is fine. I want to make sure we finish with a 3.7 or higher every season so we don't have to go to class our senior year. Looking at the SEC standings as well, us, Georgia, and Alabama are the only teams still undefeated in conference play. But I wish we could climb up to the number 1 spot. I don't know how Ohio State is holding it with 1 loss. That is so odd to me. It is what it is though. We're about to play South Carolina at home. And you gotta love the SEC where pretty much every single team is rivals with each other. First snap of the day, I'm gonna come out, I'm gonna instantly cut, and I'm gonna let them throw it over to that side of the field because we're getting a touchdown on the first play. That is how to open it up. Being the number 1 wide receiver, maybe I'm just a distraction. But if that happens to get Noah Thomas that wide open and we end up winning more games, I'm completely fine with it. That is literally the only player he's thrown to at the moment. I was open on 3rd and 6. But if our defense is going to get a quick stop, it really doesn't matter. And where is he going? It's a little weird that going up to wide receiver 1, our targets have dwindled. And I didn't call for it there, but coach didn't like that. He just took me off the field for a second. I'm able to make my first catch. And we better start actually making stuff happen. On 3rd and 12, I'm running an out route, but Connor Wigman missed me. This has been an interesting game though. We keep on getting the ball back on this side of the field. I'm able to get right by that linebacker. linebacker. And I really wish that safety wasn't in the picture, though. We're splitting the defense up the middle. If we could just run that back, I might have a receiving touchdown, though. It goes over to the other side. And here it is right here. My specialty. I'm calling for it. I'm calling for it. Pass me the football. Now we're getting pulled on third down. You've got to be kidding. Craig must have taken Connor Wigman's girl or something. That's the only explanation I can think of. Because something has clearly changed from last week to now this week. If he wants to keep on winning, though, he's going to have to feed Craig the ball at some point. That's what he's done right here. And we're definitely going to save up to upgrade catching again. As we go into halftime, it is currently 10-0. And pretty much all of our success has come out of Noah Thomas having that big play off the start. I couldn't get open. But I'll tell you this, we're still having success through the air, and that is what I needed right there. Come on, get a block. We're now inside the red zone. I'm going to go for the touchdown grab. I basically just have to call for the ball before somebody else does, and they throw it straight to the defense. That's also why I have to do it. If you don't call for the ball, Connor Wigman decides he's just going to chuck it straight at somebody, and then he wonders why his girl left him for Craig. You know, it's pretty self-explanatory. She doesn't see that NFL bag chasing potential out of him at the moment. At least he is able to find us right here, though. Look at that speed. Connor, if you get me a touchdown in this game, I'll take it all back. But with a few minutes left in the fourth quarter, that's still not happened, and I might have called for an aggressive ball right there, which is actually going to really cost us. I didn't realize it is still 10-0. Why would I do that? I was going to try to make a play like I did against LSU, but instead, coach took me out for a drive, and we get the ball back in the weirdest positions. I don't know what happens in Road to Glory, but I think it's a bit glitched out. Here on 3rd and 19, pretty much all we can do is go for the end zone, and they get a sack. We're not even in field goal range. We have gotten lucky, though. They couldn't even score a field goal in a minute, and whatever happened at the end of that game, even though I'm confused, I'm taking the win. I won't lie, Craig got a little bit jealous of Noah Thomas, because for the first real time this season with him starting a game, he got outdone by another receiver. It's kind of weird that the wide receiver 2 position was better than the wide receiver 1 position, and he's going to enjoy his spot back there. It's only one game, though. We could bounce back at 11 a.m. versus Florida. Why are we playing at 11 a.m.? That's an early start to the day, but then I remembered Texas A&M is in Central Timing, so it's 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and looking at the top 25, we're still number 3. I don't get Ohio State being number 1, but I'm more worried about competing for an SEC championship. It should also be noted, I only have 1 touchdown catch this season, so I'm going to make it my goal for this game not to catch just 1 of them, but to catch 2 of them. It might be difficult to pull that off, but we have to be able to get down the field first. And that seems like a good start from Connor. Now we're going to split these zones, but he takes a deep shot in the double coverage. I don't know what it is, but he just doesn't see Craig Mason as the number 1 receiver. But that's fine. I will call for the ball on every play if I have a chance. Luckily for us right there, no matter what happened, they were already committing a penalty, which is typical Gators football. Now they're running man-to-man coverage, and Cutter worked. I don't know if you all saw that right there or not, but when I hit L2, we got a big boost of separation. And now it is 3rd and 12. I'm calling for this immediately. We're not able to make a play after the catch, but it is important to note that we did move the chains at least. That was such a questionable read right there. The Florida DB could have easily made a play on the football, but you know what? So what? We're currently thriving down the field, and we catch a touchdown. That is a rare moment for us throughout this year, but I'd consider it a great start to this game. And on 3rd and 13, why are we throwing it like that? I didn't even have a chance to make a cut yet. Connor just said, nope, we're sending it in his direction, and that's going to cause the Gators to go up by 3 points. We aren't really punished for it, though, because it wasn't our fault, though I haven't been targeted as much on this drive, and I really hope we have some isolation over here on the left side. I had a good cut, but instead, we've turned it over on the other side of the field. It's a disappointing day for Wigman, but he has 25 seconds left in the first half to redeem himself, and that's a really good start. They missed the tackle. All right, if we can at least get into field goal range, that would be incredible, though we might have a touchdown over on that side. How is he so open? I'm not complaining. We've taken a 4-point lead. I'm so glad there's a flag, though, because he threw it straight at the DB again. No calling for the ball or anything. I didn't even have a chance to run my route, which I was going to do. And these are the same issues we ran into at New Mexico State I was complaining about. We somehow lost to 9 yards on that first down play, so by the time it's 3rd and 19, there's not much hope. And I'm really starting to wonder if our first games of this season were just a complete fluke. The same thing for a lot of the really successful drives that we've been able to have as well. At least we're going to have a touchdown right here. He got open. But whenever there's any press or man-to-man, I am struggling. The Gators have done a really good job of figuring that out, which has been the reason they've been able to lock down Craig. But every so often, we get that solid release, and I was open in the flat. Instead, he went to the other side, though. If we're getting a huge gain, I can't knock it, though. Now, I could go for the touchdown. I was gonna have open space, and instead he threw it somewhere else. I can't with him. He keeps turning it over. And that's allowed the Gators to make it a 2-point game with not that much time left. Do not throw me the ball right here. I will try to make a block. We really shouldn't be passing at this point either, though. If I'm gonna be open, I can stay in bounds to help the clock run. And this play calling is insane. At least they have already burned one of their 3 timeouts, though this is bad. Why are we throwing it straight at him? I guess we're gonna play this one like we're in a tie game or something. Get that ball out. Where did you chuck it? I'm so nervous for this 3rd and 10. Picking it up would be massive. But instead, we kicked the field goal. We missed it, and we had to trust our defense. It is so surprising that by this point in the season, we still have not lost. And all I'm saying is this stat line could have been so much better than it was. But before we continue the rest of Craig's sophomore year, a word from Prize Picks, today's video sponsor. College football can't miss. It just keeps on having great weekends, and to make it even more entertaining, I was on Prize Picks, where you pick between 2 to 6 players and then you go higher or lower on their projections. They also have promotions like Taco Tuesday and Flex Friday to keep things interesting during the weekdays. There's some discounts on picks, and Prize Picks is now available in over 40 states, so there's a good chance yours is eligible. I can also get you some cash to start out with on there, as Code Board will get you $50 instantly whenever you play with your first $5 plus lineup. And now it's time to get back to the rest of Craig's sophomore season. We have finally gotten our first NIL offer though, but for Texas A&M getting 500 followers, I'm not doing this. This isn't worth the time. Right now, I feel like we would actually lose to the 6-1 Ohio State team that is somehow still ranked above us. And I just gotta know how that's even possible. Their loss came to Texas at home by 10 points. Things could be worse though. The only other undefeated team left in the country is Kansas State. They're getting shafted just like Pitt and Indiana are in real life this year. So maybe these rankings are realistic. Now, looking at the Heisman race, Connor Wigman's not going to be in sight. And we all know why. He could be if he didn't turn the ball over. Georgia and Alabama lost last week. And since we're on a bye, we can just focus on training, which is going to allow us to get another skill point. I forgot we actually had this weird gap to end the year where we had them back to back. And why are there 3 ranked teams on our schedule to finish out the regular season? It's always going to be a challenge. You can't make this stuff up. But then my offensive coordinator hit me with a challenge other than winning, hauling a 30-yard pass and rack up 60 total receiving yards. Yeah, that's something we can manage. I'm also not spending 3 energy a week on a 5-week contract just to have a little bit of a reduction to wear and tear, because we can go ahead, train, and then manually heal ourselves. At the moment, we have 4 skill points. I think I'm going to save up to 5 and then upgrade the catching right here. And now the SEC looks a little bit different. Alabama and Missouri are the only 2 schools that have 1 loss. Basically, if we can take down number 17 Auburn at home, we should have an automatic spot in the SEC championship. But I want it to be very noted, the committee clearly thinks our schedule is weak because they have dropped us all the way down to number 5, even though we beat Missouri on the road. Make this make sense. We won at number 20 Notre Dame, at number 2 Missouri, at number 10 LSU, but we're the number 5 team since we're undefeated. It's almost like the rankings know how to factor in. We've barely survived. In a lot of games as well. Now, dropping that 2nd down was not impressive, but we made up for it right there. We've moved the chains and we're catching another. As we get down the field though, we have to keep it going, and we do. That is really big right there. Again, a good slant. And maybe we're going to catch a touchdown right here. I'm calling for the ball, but it is 3rd and 2. We were short of the marker. That was just a greedy call for the ball, and they're jumping the interception. That one's on me. I'm not really sure what I was thinking there, but it is what it is. Next time we have it back, we've also made some progress, and I've been really impressed in how we always start in decent field positioning, though that one is on Connor for just throwing it straight at him. It's really hard to play Road to Glory, especially starting as the lowest rated receiver you can. I'm so impressed with our defense though. They are the only reason that we're still in this game. And here we go. It's 3rd and 10. I'm going to call for the ball in an out route, and we've got to catch it. I am really surprised that this game's even close. I'm running it back on the next drive. And as long as they don't press, that should continue to work. I'm hoping we have a 1st down on this play, because we do eventually have to get some points. They actually had me in the slot right here. And then they're doing it again, so I'm hoping I can help us pick up this 3rd down, which I do. I'm literally getting to play on all sides of the field. If I cut inside, we could have had it. And at the moment, I'm I'm not even thinking about stats. I literally just want to get on the board. It is now 3rd and inches, and I'm instantly getting targeted, which is great, especially since I didn't have to call for the ball, but somebody else better be open. Now, I do recall telling my offensive coordinator I would have a 30-yard pass caught in this game. I don't see it happening, but if it sets up for my teammates to get us on top, that's fine. As we approach halftime, we already have the 60 receiving yards. This could be that 30-yard play, but it wasn't, so we still need it in this game, and I'm gonna call for the ball right here. Come on. That at least sets us up to hit a field goal, but I don't think it counts as a 30-yard catch, so we're just gonna have to keep on trying to get it. I didn't really understand when I told coach that I could do it how difficult it would be, but even if I don't get a 30-yard catch, I don't think he can punish me for it because I've played well. After that drive fizzled out though, we didn't get any points. Auburn was able to score a touchdown, getting it within 7, and I'm starting to get a little bit worried. I'm hoping that I could at least be the one to get open, but I wasn't. The speed is really holding me back here at the SEC level. We're very fortunate there are some other good receivers on this team. I had the block that helped us get closer to the first down marker, but now it's all about touchdowns. I don't want to do anything besides get a touchdown. Now they're saying my feet weren't in bounds there, and they might not have been, but it really hurts because we've somehow missed the field goal. I swear this game just doesn't want to see us win. That was a bad call for the ball right there. I will admit that, but it's now 3rd and 6, and it is looking more and more like overtime every second. We still have a long ways to go. I'm calling for it over here, and that was very risky. I started panicking, though that route should be caught. I'm basically just gonna need somebody else to beat the press on this 3rd down. I would have done it right there, though. Is someone else running down the field? The play's still going, and we have a touchdown. I don't know how it continues to happen. We have been bailed out, and at the same time, I had 146 receiving yards. It was Noah Thomas, though, that had the clutch play, and he also didn't call for the ball a million times and have 50 drops, so salute to him for that performance. Craig might be hurting this team more than helping them. You didn't complete the challenge I gave you. All right, we failed that, but we had like a 27-yard catch. I think we finally studied for the last time, so the rest of the year I am pouring points into XP, and it's so hard to decide whether it's worth it to save up to 10 coach points, upgrade our speed, or just make our catching better now. There would only be 2 tiers after this. I'm gonna send it. We better not drop as many balls. I guess we're not locked into the SEC championship yet, and we're still not considered better than the team that we beat on the road, so I'm not excited to play Mississippi State, who's dropped a little bit in the rankings, because this isn't really a win that'll help us. I think we still live in a world where if we lose both of these games right here, we miss the playoffs the way they're treating our ranking, but that cannot happen. We have too many fans here at Kyle Field that are backing us. No offense to Mississippi State, but they're also not exactly the best team, so my expectation going into this one is we should be able to handle business. I've also noticed we are up on the line for the first time ever, though we were open, so we got to make up for that on this 3rd and 11, and I don't know what type of defense that was. I figured out that if you're the red route on the field, you're pretty much guaranteed to get the ball off the rip, or at least my theory seemed to work until that play right there. We'll see if it remains true right here. I'm calling for it, and we get it. That means anytime that we're not the main route out there, we got to call for it a lot quicker, at least if we want to be involved the way that we have been so far, and that's another catch. Before the next snap, though, one of our offensive linemen moved early, which means we've been backed up to a 1st and 15. I'm going for the touchdown right here, though, and we're in the end zone. It was only a matter of time we got another, and let's see if Craig Mason can do the same on this drive. We beat the press immediately, but over on that left side of the field, we also beat the press, so we'll take the free 6. I'm no longer going to be jealous. These are the benefits of playing a worser team. At least you think there's benefits until Mississippi State's already scored 10 points. I don't care what their ranking says about them. I know that on this roster, they're not that good, and I know that because I had to rebuild them, so they should not be able to stop us. I was hoping to clip 14 to block him. I think I did just enough. So basically, the rest of this game, we can just focus on trying to get better stats, and I had a double team on me, so we went to the other side. Now I'm starting to get a little bit jealous. That's his 2nd deep touchdown, and we've had to work with Craig Mason for his 100 receiving yards in this game, but he's still playing well. Basically, everybody's eating at the moment. That was a bad read, but I'm mainly looking to close out this first half with one more touchdown, and then I'll be satisfied. Just based off of this formation the last time, I had to call for it quick, but that didn't look like it should have been a catch. Did they end up tipping it into a catch? That was a play from Craig Mason right there. Now we just got a block, and I didn't realize that was the rest of the time in the first half. We spent all that time working it down the field for it to not mean much. I also had one of my best routes on that play right there, but no, it's number 3 going down the field. We could still get the touchdown out of that, though. I'm just trying to get the separation, and I think this is going to be our chance. One-on-one, I'm going to cut to the outside, and we're gonna have to snag it. Here we go. It's now 1st and goal. They're running man-to-man coverage, and they're saying we got a touchdown, but I'm not sure how. I think the refs are reviewing it, and it is a little bit sad that they took it away, though I'm gonna run the zig and get it right here. That's what you like to see out of Craig Mason. He is flexing. And now that we've gotten a little bit of separation from Mississippi State, I'm just gonna work to try and get some more touchdown catches the rest of the game. With a minute and a half left in this game, though, it still hasn't happened. They've had a real emphasis on stopping us, and I don't think I'm getting that 3rd tutty. Either way, I'd say it was my 2nd best performance of the season, but a big shout out to Connor Wigman for throwing for almost 500 yards. Everybody on our team 8, I had more receptions, but Noah Thomas is the big play guy. He had more yards, and I've focused too much on academics throughout my career to go and take part in this project as well. I am declining and spending those points on improving my skills. My teammate has stabbed me in the back though. Good news, the project got an A. Bad news, your group told the TA you did nothing. Your GPA's taken a hit. What's a TA? I went to college and never heard of a TA. Maybe that's why I just dropped out. But at least we got SEC Offensive Player of the Week, and I think we have to make sure that we just ace these finals in order to have our GPA rise. In hindsight, probably shouldn't have skipped the project. Now we have to play Texas on the road to end the regular season. And here's the thing, we've probably already locked ourselves into the conference championship, which should be against Alabama. But I'm not sure we've locked ourselves into the playoffs if we lose 2 straight. They're still putting a 1-loss team above us. I guess in the coming weeks, we're gonna really find out if we're legit. And do you know how lucky we are to be starting on a 1st and goal on the 9-yard line because our defense forced a turnover? I'm not sure if we're actually going to get in or not, but my route was so clean. And here we go. It's 3rd and goal. It's press man-to-man, and they got us. That's what I was afraid of. We'd only get a field goal out of it. They also were able to score a touchdown on their drive. So I'm not feeling great about this game. We literally had it handed to us on a silver platter, and we still couldn't score. Now my catch is getting taken back because of a holding call. It's just a disaster all around. I'm a hope that we thread the needle, but that's not really happening for us. We have a halfback screen on 3rd and 20. I'm trying to get over there, and I simply couldn't make it in time. Now that the Longhorns have gone up 14-3, the stadium pulse has definitely gone down, which does make it a little bit easier to run plays, but that'll change. If we have any bit of success, it's going to go back to where it was. Come on, throw the ball. Because he just holds on to it, it's now 3rd and 27. He's going to throw it straight to Texas. I mean, Connor is having his worst performance ever, and I'm not fast enough to catch number 18. What do you even do in a situation like this? I guess I go for a lot of yards. And if we end up somehow coming back as well, that's just an added bonus. If they want to play me back like this, I'm either going to go to the inside or go to the outside. But they probably could have picked us off right there, and I was open at the start. It's just been a terrible showing from our offensive line. We got this pass out immediately. Shocker, it's another interception for the Longhorns. It's going to be 28-3. Well, maybe it's a little bit more manageable. 24-3. I mean, we are in man-to-man here. I didn't even want him to throw it to me, but he decided he was going to anyway. That time I called for it. And it's starting to feel like I'm the only receiver he's even completed a pass to in this game. There's another pass completed to the other team. This type of collapse to end the season is seriously just embarrassing. We're in a Hail Mary formation. I'm not even over there, but are we going to get a touchdown out of it? Okay, hang on. Maybe a comeback could be on. So of course the stadium pulse is going to come out, and I had a good little run block. No audibles or anything are going to occur on this drive. That's for sure. That one was on me. That was on me. We have now had 4 interceptions in this game, and I took the little bit of hope that we had going into this second half and just shattered it. The only good thing that comes out of that is Stadium Pulse is now off of our screen, though. That press was tough, and I seriously don't know how I'm going to be able to get around any number 1 cornerback in the playoffs. Like I said, it is kind of realistic to say we might not even get there. We could lose the SEC championship. And now on 3rd and 9, they're just pressing us so well. We had to go somewhere else. This Texas game has been a real wake-up call. We haven't faced an opponent like this before, where they're seriously able to just shut down our offense on all fronts, and I'm held to almost nothing. It is now 3rd and 10. We are going to get open here. It's another miss. And how did I drop that ball there? I gotta bring it in. If there was one word to describe this game, it would really just be disappointed. But maybe it's a wake-up call that we're not perfect. However you see it though, we have a chance to redeem ourselves against Alabama. And during exam week, my GPA only went up to a 3.6. That's below the 3.7 threshold. That means early graduation's basically off the table. We're ranked below a couple of these teams. And it's so ridiculous that a 9-3 Oklahoma would be higher than us. All I'm saying is if we lose the SEC SEC championship and drop below like a 9-3 Purdue not making it to the playoffs, I'm going to be very upset. But it's a genuine real possibility, and I think I need to upgrade my cutter. Now it's going to be this silver tier, which cost us the rest of our skill points, but maybe it'll allow me to get a little bit more separation versus Alabama. They score 13 more points per game than us, and that is not a good sign. This is it though. This is what we've worked for all season. I have to be happy that we've even gotten here after transferring with the 1-star. And I've already decided it is a team sport. It does not matter what stats I put up. I'm going to root for all of my teammates to get open this week, and I was not expecting the ball right there, but Connor gave it to me. Here we go. It is 3rd and 3. I had like a little bit of a delay route, but the game just treated it like I didn't do a single thing, and I was trying to split the coverage deep. I think it made for a good distraction though. We were able to hit a receiver underneath, and there was just a little bit of a mix-up on that drive. No worries. Our defense held it down for us, and now we're going to the flat. I can't get over to make that block. Whatever we do, we need to pick up this 3rd and short, which we did. And again, it is not about how I do performance-wise. It's the team. I had the block right there to get 18 loose. So here we go to end the first quarter. Driving down the field versus Bama. Please fit it in that window. I love it when Wigman puts it there. Now I'm open in the corner, but that could have ended very badly for us. I'm not going to even call for it in this spot. It is now 3rd and goal. It is crucial that he gets this one out as soon as possible. I was trying to catch it, but Mike Elko does not care we didn't pick it up there. We're going for it on 4th down, and there it is. It was only a matter of time before we found the end zone again. And with Bama not scoring, we now find ourselves in a good spot. I know you all saw that route right there. We had the push off, which was really clean. They just had a good other player come in. And I truly wish we would just run it in this situation, though this also works. Next play, they are pressing really well, but not well enough. And they're saying my feet might have gone out of bounds here. I don't understand. They were trying to challenge the catch, which makes no sense, but on a 3rd down, we're picking it up, keeping the drive alive. And I want another opportunity to use this cutter ability right here. I get open. It's never much. It's always like a 10-yard gain, though there's the cutter ability going to work. But most of the time, there is more than one guy you gotta beat. And after not getting the 4th and 1, we're kicking. I respect it though. I love a 2-possession lead, especially since our defense seems to be holding it down, though Connor is selling to end the first half. I can't believe they still have not found the end zone. Without Jalen Milroe, it just must be brutal for them. And I'm not sure if it's even smart to go for field goal range with this much time left. But here we go. 10 seconds left. They're faking the jet touch pass to me. I could call for it right here, get us a little bit more. And what I want us to do is go for the end zone, so I'm going to catch it over on the sideline. One thing about Coach, though, is he is refusing to call the Hail Mary, so I'm just going to have to design one of our own. Hope that we actually get this to go our way, and we don't. It doesn't really matter though. We're up by 10. And I didn't realize how much I was controlling this game. In the first half alone, I've had 11 catches. I'm hoping to continue to make plays offensively to start this second half, but there's definitely been a lot of drops in this game. I'm not sure why. We'll take that. 3rd and short, something I used to run last season, but not much of this season, is more of like hitch routes. And even if I'm not the one getting open, as long as I have a teammate doing so, we're fine. Taking a sack right there really hurts though. Making this 3rd and 15, that is field goal range. But there was no catch on the play, and come on, someone's got to be open. Not me. Why would you throw it to me, Connor? What are you thinking up there in your head? I can't do this with him. We're in a perfect position. Alabama hasn't scored all day, but he tries and tries to hand the game to them, so I'm making more underground catches. I wish I could just turn on shoe clock. I was going to be a blocker here, but the RPO was not taken, making it 3rd and 10 where we don't pick it up. It is actually incredible how we never gave up a single point in the championship, and I'm probably at fault for some of the reason that we've struggled just because I call so many passing plays. Coach is going to take me off the field after that first though, because from there we were able to take a knee, and it's our defense that's going to carry us. It doesn't matter what little Craig Mason does. I mean, he deserves to win player of the game. 14 catches, 117 yards. And there's no way he would have expected an SEC championship when he transferred to Texas A&M this year. I can comfortably say though, I made the right choice. And I can only assume after a season like this, he could play at any school, though the touchdowns are not that good. I've actually enjoyed using a slower receiver though. It's not just beat them deep on every single play. Our offensive coordinator won the Coordinator of the Year award, but the Heisman Trophy goes to Cade Klubnik. All right, are we going to have any chance at winning an award with him? No. I had a slight hope, but it is normally based off overall, and we didn't have that many yards. We had few touchdowns, so we shouldn't even be on here. I think it's very important to note, though, they respect us now. They've put us up at number 2, and that means we get a first-round bye, though we might have to play Alabama again. Moment of truth, though. If Purdue somehow pulled that off, I would be extremely impressed. It's the Crimson Tide. All I've been doing though is just going through this training. We train twice and then we go and recover. So with that, we have another 3 skill points and I kind of want to spend it on elusiveness, but we almost need to be fast for that to even be effective. There is something we haven't been able to deal with though, and that's pressing. So press pro means we have an improved beat press ability and we are gonna unlock it. I think by now it's clear I'm not saving up a bunch of skill points, spending it on speed. I'm improving about everything else. And taking a look at all the teams left in the playoffs, this could be a struggle. Here on our first drive, they have me on a jet touch pass. I'm not sure I can do much with this with my speed, but it was definitely interesting. Now it is 3rd and 4 and we are going to be able to get open. I'll take it. I'm really curious about press pro though. They're not exactly pressing yet to where I could really see it as an advantage, but once we get a good look, I'll definitely get to test it out. And here we go, 3rd and 5 right here. A bunch of us are running curls. Somebody had to get open. It was just Alabama who we threw it to. They didn't score against us last week though, so I can't really be too concerned. Now we are able to cut up that middle. And whatever, it is what it is. Back to the jet touch pass. Is this one gonna work any better? It's getting us a few. We're definitely not quick enough or shifty enough. That press pro didn't do too much, though that last little cut did. But we also only have the lowest tier of press pro, so maybe if I improve it, it would be better. If you're wondering why there are so many jet touch passes coming up, I went to Texas State's playbook just to see if that switch helped us out, but I don't think I'm gonna run that play very often, just seeing how many yards we're getting. I might stick with this playbook though. We seem to be getting a ton of looks, which is rare for Road to Glory wide receivers. And here we go, final play of the first quarter. We are going to have a perfect block, and that gets us the first down. It could have been a little bit of cheating. It might have been illegal, but as long as my team's the one succeeding, I don't care. Michigan loves that type of attitude. Before you know it, I could transfer there. We're getting a couple more. And okay, I might have lied to you all. I might be running another jet touch pass. I wanted to get a touchdown. But worst case scenario, if we don't get into the end zone, we've centered it up for a field goal. I can't call for it on that hitch, but that one works. Our defense finally failed us though. They gave up a touchdown versus Alabama, so it's tied at 7. And we're trying desperately to score before the end of this first half. I actually had a cutter ability play out right there, but I wasn't confident in the route. Now it's 3rd down and we're definitely short. I can't believe how fast this one is going by, but when we have it here in the 3rd quarter, we could do something special here. And by something special, I mean a unique interception that you would normally never see. I'm starting to be convinced that Connor doesn't want a championship. He does not want his girlfriend back. I don't know what he wants. If that's what it takes to get open though, I'll run a route like that every single time. I'll bring the defense over even. And here we go. It's 3rd and 2. I'm gonna run a little zig. I'm able to catch it and run, and if I can hurdle this defender, that'd be cool. Just so you all know, I was spamming the button. It didn't let me do it though. And we're actually having a ton of success at the moment. I am running across a route over the middle, so it would seem like we're gonna get our touchdown. I was gonna run a zig route, but it's zone coverage. I just have to hope that is not intercepted. Whenever that ball leaves his hands, it's the most terrifying thing in the world. But you know what? Who cares? We have a lead in the quarterfinals. We have also managed to get this ball back on the 24-yard line, and you know that we have to try to throw an interception. I don't understand the strategy there, but I think I'm gonna block on this 3rd and 10. Just hear me out. We're gonna wait for our tight end to get open. He's going to throw it to him. But since he threw it so late, I couldn't block the one player. I've gotten that concept to work in this game. It just didn't want to right there. What am I doing? This could be a generational choke. There's still 2 minutes left. It is not over. Connor is running into a sack. And Alabama's gotten it within 3. So we have to convert on 3rd down right here. And Mason can do that for us. We are 1 first down away from a win, but there's no options for us to run the ball. This is our best chance. Or at least I thought it was. Now it's 2nd and 9. And we had somebody wide open. Hang on. We're going to the crib. That's a touchdown. We can go ahead and gritty on the Crimson Tide. We should be taking care of them. But let me tell you, they did not make getting this win as easy as I was hoping. That was our first game in a new playbook though. Connor still did well. At least if you eliminate the 2 interceptions. I'm just happy we had 17 of them and a touchdown catch. Now it looks like our next game is against Clemson. They must have beaten Ohio State. And I wanted to play the Buckeyes since they were ranked above us. They finished the season with 5 losses and the other semifinals not that talented. I know Michigan's ranked number 1, but they don't have an offense. We have to get through this game though. They averaged 35 points per game. And through training, I've gotten up to 2 skill points to spend, but we need 1 more. I really want to get another tier press pro. I saw some glitchy stuff with it. But for now, our focus simply has to be on taking down Clemson, and this first route gets us 5. I'm very happy with just getting some consistency to start out the game. We had to avoid 1 tackle there, though, and that's going to make this a huge 3rd and 3. I'm not really open, but I'm calling for it anyway. You see how when they press us, though, we can bounce off of them a little bit easier? It's actually refreshing. And I'll see if I can get a clean release right here. No, I waited too long, but we still would have been able to get open. And it's inevitable at some point. They are literally pushing us to that left side. right here, come back for it, aggressive catch, touchdown. That's how you start a semifinal game. But I don't know how to feel about it down here on the 3-yard line. I'm going to call for it again. I did not get it. But we were fortunate enough to get it on the 18-yard line, and now running this route right here, he is deciding to throw it straight to Clemson. Am I going to get a tackle? No. The biggest threat to us not winning a championship is that man right there. But our defense continues to hold it down for us. They only got a field goal out of that, so we still have a lead. Now, I know if that guy drops back into coverage right there, we can take the sidelines a lot. But the second he's in cover 2, we might be in some trouble. I hope this isn't picked. It is actually giving me anxiety to play with Connor. Every time the ball leaves his hands and I can't see where it's going to be, I get stressed. There's too much on the line right now. We are in a very spread out formation, so I should be able to cut across, but he didn't even have enough time to get it out to us. I can't see our offensive line. I don't know how bad it is, but there it is. There's the press pro, beating the press. Now I don't seem dumb. It is very obvious what I'm talking about, and it can be glitchy. You just don't get the ball when it is. It's also come to my attention, there's only 14 seconds left in this first half, and it did not work right there, so we're gonna have to go over to the sideline. All right, 10 seconds left in the half right now. We threw it immediately, and I got taken off for a missed field goal. Isn't that just wonderful? The perfect way to end the first half right there. Having such little control in Road to Glory is always difficult, especially playing with this current team. And of course, Craig too. He's probably one of the worst builds that I could ever use. But I've gotten tired of using speed and that being the main focal point of everything. We're going to do it without speed. He clearly has talent to get open. I think abilities were the greatest thing we could have done. But we have not proven anything yet. We're not a championship winner. That's a bad pass. And to keep it 100, I have not planned for what I'm going to do with this series if we do somehow win a championship. This season going this well was not something I planned for, though we still have some work to do. I can't get anywhere here, so we're going to have to trust our defense. The way that they've been getting stops, though, it almost feels safer whenever they're out there versus Connor throwing the football, and we have a touchdown. Never mind. He didn't turn it over. We're going up by 11 points. Clemson also drove it down the field to not score, and that's such a good release. It is so painful that all they know how to throw is bullet passes, though, and this drive is going to stall as a 3-and-out. There's simply no way that we're converting here. You know what we can do, though? We can do the thing where I run into the cornerback and they do a flag. That definitely benefits us, and I'm sure not going to complain about it, though I hope that wasn't intercepted. That is my mental on every single play. This game has been so damaging to my well-being. But you know what? It's going to be pretty difficult for Clemson to come back from this point, though our blocks could have been so much better. Now, I know we should probably be running it here, but I want to route them up, and we do. There's also no reason to not just get some more receptions in real quick. Try to make a play with that 79 speed. And by the time we get off the field, they have no timeouts. It wasn't necessarily the prettiest offensive game, but it was enough to win. And of course, 20 catches, 147 receiving yards, though like 5 or 6 of those were on jet touch passes. It really doesn't matter though. What is important is we were able to level up, which means I can now unlock Press Pro Silver. And I can't believe how good of a player Craig's turned into. The national championship game is set though. Number 1 versus number 2. It's Michigan. And we have worked really hard to climb this far. They just dropped 49 points though. Plus, they're the team that won the Big Ten, so going into this, I am a little bit worried. I mean, the expectation was never that we'd make it this far. But now that we've gotten here, we might as well come out and try our best to win. The writing's been on the wall for a minute, and they flipped the play, so this is our chance to get a really good catch from Mason. Every so often, whenever you audible, the defense does get a little bit confused. We've had a solid opening, and we just got to make sure we continue to keep it up. This should be another 8 or 9 yard gain. I've also been waiting for them to try and press me, but they're kind of reluctant to do it at the moment, which is interesting. They did just get an almost instant sack, so that's certainly not too helpful. But maybe we can pull something off here on 3rd and 14. I'm gonna suck them in, and then I'm gonna go to the sidelines to move the chains. That is how you effectively break down a zone defense using a zig. We are down at the 1. But after doing all the work, I was not on the field to see the result of that, though they have 2 players dropping back farther than they should. And those are the situations where I know to then cut and call for the ball so we can make a catch. I really like how this first quarter has gone for us so far. We also had a ton of open routes on that play. But that is only a 1/4 of the game. There's still plenty of time for us to blow it. We have all seen the types of reads that Connor Wigman likes to make under pressure. He throws it right at him. But you know what? We should still be okay. And where are we putting that? It's 3rd and 8 now, but I think this is cover 3. So what we're going to do is we're going to make that zone pull a little bit and then go for the possession catch. We didn't even get brought down. But these high-end corners make that look a lot harder than what it needs to be. We'll see if we can come up with anything on 2nd and 10. I was kind of guarded, which means it's probably a pretty good thing that my call for the ball did not work, and here I would have to beat that guy. It's really a miracle what our defense can do, though. We have still not given up any points. And that was a pretty good catch. I went for reading the defense, getting past both those players, but they're reviewing if it's a catch. Thankfully, the refs did decide that Craig got at least 1 foot down. We're trying to end this first half in a solid position. And in order to do so, we need at least 1 more first down, which means I cut perfectly for that, and instead we don't get it. I'm not sure where Connor was looking. I'm not happy about it. But our defense still gets it back for us, and there it is. Press pro, but we couldn't catch it. I like that the animation still works, though, even though we are so slow. That was actually a really good cut. Someone else was just open, too. And I have called a timeout. If we're going to score a touchdown in 33 seconds, from here on out, we cannot use any more besides 1, but the press pro didn't get us open the way I needed it to. If I'm controlling the quarterback and that's a lob pass, it's going to be a touchdown, but I shouldn't have called for it. And look at where we are starting this drive in the 3rd quarter. I mean, how do you even get the ball in this great of a spot? That was so unexpected, but I'll definitely take it. And we have been going up against #1 corners. The fact that we have done as well as we have on Heisman mode as well, just make sure you keep that in mind. This has all been on Heisman. Feels like one of the most impressive things I've done on College Football 25 so far. I'm happy with this. Though, what are we doing? Why are we trying to choke the championship? Can we please not give up a touchdown, Connor? It is always interesting with him as our QB. But something is just clicking defensively at the moment, and that was our first actual really good release out of press pro. We really could do with a touchdown right here, and then we'd be fine. But something about Connor Wigman, whatever you want to call him, is he is due for throwing it to stupid spots. That throw has pretty much put us out of field goal range, which means we really need to convert on this 3rd and long. And I'm not sure if we're going to kick or go for it. Considering we're out there on the field 1 play later, we must have gone for it. You just don't get to play in those situations. And I did have the inside leverage. It's all good, though. We're going into the 4th quarter in a great spot. And this might be a little bit of a mistake, but I want another touchdown. I want the touchdown. I want the touchdown. Cut it up. Okay, that was bad. Here we go. It's basically me versus their coverage. I shouldn't have gone backwards. And you know what? Coach deserved to take me out. I really don't love the 4th and goal call, though. We are going to just go for this right here. And guess who's stressing a little bit now? They were able to score a touchdown versus us. They're also calling wide receiver screens, though they ran commit, and it's an off-target throw. We had it, the championship in our hands right there. Now it's 3rd and 9. I don't think we're going to be able to pick this up right here. We did, apparently. I'm so stressed. I've said it time and time again. There is nothing more uncomfortable than knowing that the ball is out and you have no idea where it's going. I think, though, in using myself as a little bit of a distraction right here for the jet touch pass, we can pick up a first down. That's literally all it's going to take for us to seal this game. I'm getting in there. Please let me have a block. Now we don't know what we're doing on 4th and 1. But apparently we have went for it because college football national champions is popping up. Michigan never got the ball again. And I've never felt more relieved, but this is so weird. We've already won a championship as a sophomore. I'm really not sure what the future of this series holds. I mean, we just had an incredible performance. But what I'm thinking about is making it a full movie, putting these 2 seasons first, then another 2 after it. Half the video would be new content, though I need to talk about what on earth this text is. An impressive win streak. We just won a championship. Literally after doing that, the game acts like nothing happened. We had over 150 receptions, 1,500 yards, 8 touchdowns. I mean, that was a great season from a 75 overall receiver. But what's so demotivating is the transfer portal really doesn't have any better options for us than what we had at the start of the season. And they dropped us back down to number 4 on the depth chart, though with both of these guys graduating, we should be up to wide receiver 2 at Texas A&M. Again, though, for the rest of this series, which I don't really want to do, but it's how YouTube works with series content, I am going to put this into a full movie. So that's my plan to at least finish out this series. I don't know if I should run it back with Texas A&M or transfer him to a new school, but it's been a blast. And this is just a reminder that even as a 2-star recruit, he was able to make his dreams happen.